Welcome to another episode of Follow the Brand TV. I am your host, Grant McGaugh, CEO of 5-Star BDM, a 5-star personal brand and business development company. I want to take you on a journey through another deep dive into the world of personal branding and business development using compelling personal stories, business conversations, and tips to improve your brand. By listening to the Follow the Brand TV series, you will differentiate yourself from the competition and build trust with prospective clients and employers. You never get a second chance to make a first impression. Make it one that will set you apart, build confidence, and reflect who you are. Building your 5-star personal brand is a great way to improve your skills and knowledge. If you have any questions for me or any of my guests, please email me at grant.mcgaugh@5starbdm.com. Now, let's begin with our next episode on the Follow the Brand TV.
Five-Star BDM, Brand Development Masters, is a professional consulting and advisory group keenly focused on business development services for the small to mid-sized business and entrepreneurs. Although every business is unique, they often share business development challenges that can be addressed through smart branding. Services include process improvement and operations, digital strategy and transformation, business intelligence, digital marketing, and personal branding. Our business and personal branding company has helped a number of professionals and organizations to optimize and grow. This results in more business, more opportunities, better reach, positive outcomes. Visit www.5starbdm.com today to learn more.
Your customers are reaching out at all hours. Messages go unanswered, support tickets pile up, and your team is stretched thin. Even when your office lights are off, your brand is still being judged. In today's world, your brand never clocks out. But what if there was a way to keep your business responsive, efficient, and human even while you sleep? On this episode of Follow the Brand, host Grant McGaugh sits down with Daniel Hindi, entrepreneur and chief executive officer at Noem.ai, to explore a pivotal transformation in artificial intelligence. For years, AI has been seen as just another tool in the business toolbox. But now, the conversation is shifting. AI is no longer just a background assistant. It is stepping up to become a true teammate, working alongside your staff, not just for them. This shift is redefining what it means to deliver customer service and build a resilient brand. Forget the old days of press 1 for billing and endless chatbot loops that leave customers frustrated. Today's AI agents are different. They do not just chat, they take action. Imagine an AI that can qualify leads, support customers, respond across web, SMS, WhatsApp, and even your customer relationship management system, or CRM. These AI teammates handle real tasks, updating records, booking appointments, resetting passwords, and more. No more dead ends or sending people in circles. Instead, you get a seamless experience that works across every channel your customers use. The impact of this new AI teammate is not just theoretical. Daniel Hindi shares that when AI is implemented correctly, companies can see a minimum lift of 34% in conversion rates. That means more website visitors become customers, and more leads turn into real opportunities. At the same time, AI reduces friction, answers questions faster, and frees your team from repetitive, low-value work. The result? Your people can focus on what matters most, while your business runs smoother and more efficiently than ever before. When AI is implemented correctly, companies can see a 34% minimum lift in conversion rates. But this conversation goes deeper than just automation and numbers. It is about protecting the trust your customers place in your brand. It is about promoting your people into higher value roles, not burning them out with endless tasks. With real-time insights into your business's health, You can make smarter decisions and foster a culture of growth. AI as a teammate means your brand can scale without sacrificing the human touch that sets you apart. The future of your brand is not just about what you say. It is about what your systems do when your people are asleep. As AI evolves from tool to teammate, your business becomes more responsive, more trustworthy, and more human. Follow the Brand is where we explore the people, principles, and plays behind the brands that break through. Watch the full episode now to see how AI can help your brand never clock out.
Welcome, everybody, to the Follow Brand Podcast. This is your host, Grant McGaw, and this is the show where we explore the people, the principles, and the plays behind the brands that break through. So we're going to talk about something about every founder, every operator, or every growth leader is feeling right now. And that is the shift from AI as a tool to AI as a teammate, the kind of teammate that can sell, support, and scale your customer experience while you sleep. So our guest today is Daniel Hendy. He is the founder and CEO of Noem.ai. You might want to look that up, Noem.ai. It is a platform built around the idea that you should be able to stand up a human-like AI chatbot agent in seconds, deploy it across channels like web, messaging, and turn everyday conversations into action, insights, bookings, conversations, and growth strategy. So this is not something new, but something that we're going to get into as a principle about what is real, what is how to implement AI agents without losing trust, and how to use automation to amplify your brand, not to dilute it. So Daniel, welcome to the Follow Brand Podcast. Let's get right into it.
Thank you for having me. Excited.
Well, let's go into your origin story first. What problem did you feel that you personally hit hard enough that it pushed you to build Noem.ai?
So my previous company, I've built and sold five successful companies in my past, and I won't tell you about the graveyard of mistakes that I've made and failures. I have my share of those, but my previous company, two major departments that, and all companies sort of feel like they're the stepchild of the company. One of it's CS. The other part is a sub department in sales, which is the SDR team, the team that's taking the first line of defense. When leads come in, let's make sure that they're qualified. They come in as an MQL, marketing qualified lead. We try to see if there's a sales qualified lead, send them off to the AEs. The biggest problems we have there, nobody in those positions want to remain in those positions, right? So I have an SDR. I will, pay my dues for the next 2 years, but I don't want to stay here. Some of them say, if I could do this in 6 months and become an AE, an account executive, so I can close deals, make some good commissions, I want to do that as soon as possible. So what ends up happening is you hire these kids with either, fresh out of college or just nominal amount of experience. You say, let me train them. Let me really get them to know our product, our mission, our vision. What do we do? 6 months later, half of the people you hired are probably no longer there. The other half, you have your A's and B's. Your A guys, they're great. They're amazing SDRs, and they're telling you every week, I want to be an AE. I want to be an AE. I just spent all this time training you to be an SDR, and I appreciate the latter. But the second you go up to be an AE, I have to go back and start all over again.
Right.
Same thing with CS. CS says, I will be in customer support, I'll be in customer success, but at a certain point, I want to be account manager, I want to be in management. I don't want to be here my entire time. So as a company, we can't afford to have 50 people in CS. We can't afford to have 50 SDRs. Well, it's a law of numbers. It's okay. As long as you have these cohorts, most of us don't have that many people on staff. So I said, okay, let's take a look into AI. I'm a software engineer by trade. I've built these systems. I just sold my previous company, Buildfire, in the mobile app space. I said, okay, after this, my fifth company, what have I learned, and what are the tools available today that I didn't have in the past? So I cracked open, what's going on with LLMs. It was a great time. I started a company called Noem.ai, and Noem meaning that little gnome that goes and works while you're asleep, right? Spelled differently, but Noem.ai. But the genesis of that was a pain I genuinely had, and in
Mhm.
all our companies, and even all business owners try to chat with each other, and they all have similar problems, right? Even if you're in a different space. And so we sought out to solve that, and I believe we have.
Well, and we got to unpack that. Love the origin story, the why behind what you're doing. Now, you kind of hit this pretty hard about the human element at that level of SDR and customer support, high turnover, right? High turnover. So, Gnome AI, you talk about human-like AI chatbot agents. I want you to explain to us first, what does human-like mean operationally? Concrete context handoffs. Is that something that a person would gravitate to, that they try to trick them, or that it's okay that they know they're talking to a bot?
Uh, Absolutely. And that's a very important question because AI is a tool just like anything else. And you can use a tool poorly, or you could use a tool, accurately and lean on its strengths versus its weaknesses. With the advent of LLMs, you have listen, we've all been to websites, your let's say your phone carrier, your insurance company. They have a chatbot. Yeah, that's been there since, 20 years they've had this chatbot, right? So you're on this chatbot and let me see your experience. I'm going to guess your experience. The first thing it asks you is this a technical question? Is this a billing question, or are you a new customer? Billing, go to this website, this URL that we have for billing. I was just there. That's why I am chatting with you. Oh, here's our phone number. You're not a chatbot. I didn't want to call and be on hold for an hour. I wanted to, just get this solved, right? So it's a very poor experience. That is technically a chatbot. That's not an intelligent chatbot. Then you have the intelligent chatbot that says, I'm going to tell you everything that you happened in the past. I'm just going to write it down in front of you instead of, a workflow that's popping up. Still like, okay, maybe a little bit better. I get to navigate the conversation a little bit better, but it's not really addressing my needs. It's not equating itself to my experience if I jumped on a call or walked into your store, your retail store, let's assume, or your clinic or whatever it may be. It's not the same experience. Why are we optimizing for an IVR-like experience? When you call, please listen while I tell you our options. Our options have changed recently. Press one for, press two for. Like nobody likes that experience. Why are you making AI mimic that? It's because we have muscle memory. What we do at Gnome AI is we change SDRs to more like concierge. Understand what they want, what they need. We have many services and products, and let me better understand who you are and what you need and fine tune your experience, knowing my end goal is to sell you. My end goal is to capture the lead. My end goal is to keep you as a customer and have you not churn. For sure, we know what the song and dance is, but how about you just optimize it and personalize it to me? And so what Gnome AI does really well is it acts like you would as a human. We say, hey, if you're telling your AI to follow this rigid flow, like is that what happens when I walk into your clinic, when I walk into your retail store, when I walk into your seminar? Is that what? No, no, I don't act like that. That's poor user experience. Then why are you having your AI do the same thing? Right. And I say this all the time in terms of the humanity from our employees, because we're all business owners and we care about our employees as much as sometimes we're tarred and feathered with a wide brush that business owners don't care. Of course we care about our employees, but it needs to be a good relationship, and it needs to be a healthy relationship. When we look at CS, when we look at SDRs, are we talking about Monday morning, 9 a.m., first cup of coffee? I'm getting the same person, the same Daniel, as 5 p.m. on a Friday on his fifth cup of coffee?
Yeah.
Probably not. Because my daughter's recital is about to begin. I'm tired. I'm not as sharp. I'm going to maybe be a little bit shorter, maybe not be as sharp as I would be 9 a.m. on my first cup of coffee,
Mhm.
right? So, what we try to do is we say, okay, if AI can take your job, if AI can take your job, I'm going to say something that's not popular. It should. It should take your job. Am I going to lose my job? Well, it depends. Is that what you think you do? You think you are fingers on keyboard? Is that what you think I hired you for? Well, what do you mean? Well, if you're asking me that question, that means as business owners, we've gotten used to measuring the wrong things.
I love
Right?
that.
Is the value of my CS rep telling people how to reset their password? If we're GDPR compliant, are we open on Saturday? Is that really why you hired this person? No, it's on the website, but nobody reads and they end up asking anyway. Let AI take care of that. Business owners, management, and ICs, individual contributors, have been burdened with the shallow thought of task-oriented processes that makes us hate the job that we once loved. If AI can take that task or checking off those boxes for you and said, okay, AI can help me write a blog. Great. Why am I writing this blog? Oh, for SEO. Is that really? No, it's to send a message to a customer. Who's that customer? Who are we talking to here? Our customers have a very particular niche, and we offer very particular services. Understand the why, the who. Who are we talking to? How do I really measure the impact of why I'm here 8 hours a day? Spend time in deep thought and let the shallow task-oriented thought, let AI do that. Now, when I come back to my CS team, they find meaning. You know what? I used to be able to spend 15, 20 minutes with a customer before, like, I have to jump off. I have another book meeting. I have more tickets piling up on me. No, I can sit there and the customer doesn't feel rushed. The customer feels like, hey, I showed up on this guy. They're not burnt out. They're talking to me and really trying to understand who I am and what my problem is and saying, yeah, I'm here for you. When the AI took the punches of the, sorry to say it this way, this is not going to be popular, but the Karens that show up to every business threatening to sue over the smallest things, right? Because I don't feel like you're going to help me unless I bring in my lawyers. You got charged twice for this item. I'm sorry, I would have helped you. There was no need for you to threaten me, right? But we've all been in business. We all had the phone calls that were unpleasant. If AI can be that punching bag to say, throw your punches, throw your punches, throw your punches. I'm sorry you had that experience, but I can help you. You need to talk to a rep. Hey, rep, no need to know all the yelling and screaming that just happened, right? They got charged twice. Can you help them out? Sure, no problem. It gets escalated to a human without that emotional roller coaster. You go to your team, like, oh man, this is so much easier to work with. This is, yeah, we're still a company. We still have the same issues, but all the run-of-the-mill questions are all taken care of, and I can actually be less customer support and more customer success. Does that make sense?
It makes 100%. If we, like you said, first of all, it's a common experience. I think this is what gives people some pause. And because I come from that world of communications, when I worked at Avaya, AT&T, Lucent World, you brought it up, IVR, interactive voice response, right? Natural language, NLPs is what they call natural language processing. And those first voicemails, I mean, when he first came out, they were like, kind of revolution. Everybody's sick of that stuff now, so they'll dial 1, 2, 3, all that type of thing. So they're like, wow, can this do this better? And then can you triage that tier 1, tier 2 support that really is just informational? So I always feel like, especially in this AI world, artificial intelligence world, data, information, but then you get into context and experience. So if that agent can sit in between context, experience, data, and information, speed up the process of a solution, I'm on board with that. Like, what does that look like? And I always go back to this bad AI and there's good AI. What do I mean by bad? To me, bad AI is you're trying to trick somebody into thinking they're talking to a human. That's bad AI. You don't need to do that. It's okay that it's a bot. It's fine. But then it can converse with you to get you to where you want to go. That's great. That's what I call bad AI, when people are just utilizing it to try to trick somebody or something to that effect. Good AI is, to your point, you're now speeding up the business process to get to a solution, and you're taking valuable human assets, which I call the HI, the human intelligence, and getting the most out of it. You brought that up, like, you know what? I could train you to either do SDR or CS, but I could really, maybe now I can start training for what you really want to do if you're ready to be an AE, to be an account executive, to really get to that next level where I need you and I'm willing to pay for that kind of employee to do that. Now, here's the question: adoption and adoption rates. We know that is the graveyard of good technology. The question comes down to what are the most common failure modes that you see when companies roll out AI chatbots, and what are your rules for avoiding them?
So the first issue people deal with is if you're a mid-size, larger company, and you may have your web guy that deals with your WordPress, website, and maybe some tech. You say, let's build this in-house. The biggest mistake with AI is when you try to start building it in-house. AI changes every week, not every 6 months, not every week. There's something new going out. So your investment is non-ending. It just keeps on going and it keeps changing, and the goalpost keeps moving. What was acceptable last week is not acceptable this week. So it's a insatiable pit of finance going in. Now, there are certain cases where you probably, if this is your intellectual property, this is the value of my company, yes, you should build that in-house. Just understand the burden and take that. But that is the value. That's the equity I am building in my company. When it comes to a chatbot and you're ready to exit, you've been building this company for 10 years, you're ready to retire. Are you selling it based on the chatbot technology you've built? Are you a chatbot company? Yes, then yes. If you're not a chatbot company, then that tech is valued at zero, right? As the equity you're building in your company. So that's the first failure. The second failure is either not taking advantage of the AI that exists today or assuming I'm going to take on AI, I'm going to fire everybody. The reality is somewhere in between, right? You may not fire as much. And now listen, if you have fat in the company, every now and then we know this is very difficult for business owners to deal with, but we have to cut the fat every now and then. That's just the nature of the game. And I hate even using that term, cutting the fat. These are humans. I understand. Believe me, it's painful for every owner to make cuts. Even when it's a bad hire, it's never a pleasant, experience. But understanding, here are my stars. Let me replicate those stars. Let me download their information in a way to sit there and how can I replicate you and train the AI once. And I don't have to remind them. Remember last week when I said, hey, we should be doing it? No, you don't have to remind it. It knows. You just have to train it once, and that's it. Then say, how am I underutilizing your term, HI, my human intelligence? Well, they're busy all day telling people how to reset their password. That you're overspending for that. They're educating people on why we're better than our competitors. You're overspending for that. They're qualifying, MQLs. Like you're overspending. This human that's here, that's been with you 2-3 years, and I don't want to let go. How am I underutilizing them? Sometimes ask them. They'll tell you. Sometimes I used to have customer support, customer success, and account managers and technical account managers. Do you really need all four? Can one serve for all? Well, it's sort of this gradient. Okay, well, if I told you the lowest hanging fruit is taken care of, and the ultra technical is going to be a human, where on that continuum can we say, hey guys, are you ready for that next move? You are now account managers. You handle a book of business. You measure now less on NPS and CSAT scores and more on MRR, NRR, and revenue that you can generate from our existing customers. Well, how do I do that? Well, AI is going to help you, and you're ready for your next move. Why should the next person, when they leave me and go to another company because that's their next jump, why? We've had this problem because we have a vacuum, sorry. When I promote you from CS to an account manager, there's a void. There's a vacuum that happens. And sometimes you are ready. I'm just not ready because I haven't hired the next person. I'm not ready to hire this next person. It's not working. Well, if AI can fill that gap, right, and then allow you to make that promotion without having a void, right, it's easier for our upward mobility for our existing team. It's actually saving us money because it's still one head. When I gave you a raise, I didn't double your salary. But if I hire 2 people, that's 2 salaries.
Yeah, right.
So yeah, but coming in from fear to say, oh shoot, did I just lose my job? No, you may actually get a promotion from AI. You may be able to say, okay, well, can I just dabble a little bit as an AE now? Yeah, play 50, but I still need you 50% of your time as an SDR. But hey, you can take a couple of AE calls and try to, and so I can have this gradient until the AI is where I need it to be, until you're ready, until I have that vacancy there. You could play a little bit of a gradient there. And the humanity coming back to, again, I'm fresher when you talk to me. I'm not burnt out by the same run of the mill questions over and over again. And even us as communicators, this is the thing. And sorry to jump off to another topic, but as
Okay.
business owners,
Yeah.
when you're dealing with AI, it'll expose how poorly you've been communicating.
Mm, I
Let me
love that.
explain. Let me
No,
explain.
that is a statement, drop the mic statement. Communication and how your differentiation strategy, your communication strategy, either it's helping you or it's hurting you. And to your point, if you don't do an assessment of that and really understand how you're maybe, leaving money on the table because of your current model and how it's happening, and then you didn't realize, oh wow, this is going on. This is why we could instead of closing 1 in 10, we can close 5 in 10 or something to that effect. You got to know your numbers. To your point earlier, you got to know where you're at. Now here it comes down to like people are like, all right, I hear what they're saying. How easy is it to implement? You go to your website now, it immediately says, hey, I can ingest your URL to your website and put an AI chat bot right on top of that. I know that's just your beginning demo of what you're doing because you're talking web, SMS, voice, social. In your opinion, and you've been doing this a while, where do you see the highest ROI for companies? There's small business owners out there. They're doing 6, 7, going to 10 figures, or I should say 10 figures, but they're going to 7 or 8 figures, and they're looking for ROI. Where do you think the market is underestimating what's coming next when it comes to agentic AI agents?
So it's one, you need to understand what's just a chatbot versus an agent. So
Mhm.
that's very important because it'll help you define how you measure success. Then when you're measuring success, let's say we're measuring hours saved. What especially, 50, 100 employee and less companies fail to measure is when you are looking at measuring the AI savings that you get with man hours. You grab the lowest person on the totem pole and measure it against that. When the truth is, how much of your time, Mr. CEO, is wasted on this? Well, they're constantly dragging me into these account management meetings. They're always dragging me into this customer who has an upset. Like, that's how you should really measure it. It's your time being saved. But the calculation is slightly again when you're at the upper echelons of business, there's so much in between that between you and the actual customer, uh, you're shielded. But there's a big in between, and you ask yourself, how much am I spending unnecessary time there? Right, where I'm not allowing my new generation of leaders to ramp up and take ownership because they're stuck in the weeds. So that's how you measure it. You look at conversion rates. I spend a massive amount of money on Google and Meta to try to get leads in. They click on your ad, they show up, and you get a bounce rate. We optimize some text. They're not reading the text because you put three, it's either buried 3 pages in or it's so much text. They don't actually read it. Say, okay, so where am I losing? You spent all this money to get a lead in. Make sure you convert them. Make sure you get them on a call. You book them, something. If they're not buying, at least get them to sign up, get them to book. So we see a 34% minimum increase in conversion rates when you implement your AI correctly on your site. And you say, okay, well, that's just one. You know how many people reach out to me on Facebook, on Instagram, and on social media? Yeah, my CS team are supposed to go in there. They carve out, an hour a day or once a week. They'll go in and reply. You waited a week to respond to a user? That guy's way gone, bought from your competitor, way gone, right? So there's that part to say, okay, does it reply to social? Does it reply to SMS? That's a new option depending on your business. If you're international, WhatsApp is big. Does it reply back on WhatsApp? When they call us Saturday morning and we're closed, somebody answer? Well, your AI will answer now. Yeah, but you know what? We're in we hug the Mexico border, and I'm in San Diego, right? If you don't speak Spanish, you're losing a lot of your customers, right? Well, everybody speaks English. Yeah, but maybe they're not comfortable communicating their needs as well in English. Does my AI speaking Spanish? Yes. When it speaks Spanish, does it translate back to me that's going to take over the conversation or take over that? Listen, yes, it translates it back. Is it high fidelity? We all know Google Translate. Anybody who speaks another language, go to Google Translate, translate it back to English to that language, back to English to that language. It's completely different. AI has a higher fidelity rate to understand what your meaning behind it is.
That's
So
huge.
when you look at chatbots versus agents, so chatbots will regurgitate text and all of them will do that. Agents will do that as well. The difference with agents is autonomy, being able to work on its own without you asking it something, and tooling. Can it actually add the lead to my CRM? Can it actually pull the account and tell me like, hey, this is a high value customer, bring in an AE, close them, right? Or bring in the account manager. Hey, this guy pays us, a third of our income this year. Like, make sure somebody jumps on a call with them. To be able to make that differentiator, to be able to pull information, push information, to actually render artifacts from images to PDFs to documents, things of that nature. So our AI agents, well, you can use them as chatbots and just chatbots, that's fine, but they can actually take action. Our agents, for example, if a great chatbot will say, oh, I see you're having a problem resetting your password, let me help you with that, right? How do I help you? You go, click on this link, enter in your email, right? And it'll send you a reset password link, right? Yeah. And are they happy? They're happy. Our AI chatbots can actually call back an API that says, what was your email? You don't need to do anything. Check your email. It's in your inbox now. Well, you did it for me? Yeah. I didn't need to navigate you to a page and get that done. If you tie it in with your backend, the chatbot can actually go and reset your password for you, right? Or send you an email that says, here's a link to reset your password. But I didn't have to navigate you through, here's how you navigate to do it. Like, no, the chatbot did it for you, right? So that's a difference between the agent and just a plain vanilla chatbot.
Big difference. Big difference. That you talk
Now,
about saving time, friction with the customer experience, dramatically reduces. You talked about the misinterpretation of language. I think that's huge, especially in more international markets that we're operating in, or the different communities that we come in and out of, and just having that context understanding, I think is huge. That's what I think some of the biggest changes in these AI models are in understanding context, understanding the human experience as we all tool up and even get better and better. So how hard is it? Two questions, two last questions. Number one, how, like, what? I love what Daniel's talking about. I want to bring this into my organization. How hard is it to bring it in? You got to integrate it. Maybe you got a CRM. Maybe, like I said, you're using WhatsApp, whatever it may be, Zapier, Make, there's all kinds of different tooling. How hard is it to get set up? And then pricing, because I've seen a lot different pricing models on your site. Take us through those models.
sure. So setup, we are the first and up until recently, the only platform that allows you to just put in your website and we'll scour the internet and try to build a chatbot for you. Like you said, it's not going to be perfect. We're not trying to aim for perfect. If it was that easy, it should concern you, right? But it eliminates 80% of the work that you needed to do. You put in your website, it scours the internet of all the public information that's available, what's on your website, and it creates the instructions for your website, for your chatbot. The instructions are basically, what is your goal? Is my goal to be an SDR? Is it, what is my role? Is it to be a CS rep? What's my brand? What's the company information? It grabs all that. Now you just proofread it to make sure it's all accurate. And you say, here are your guidelines. Here's how you measure success. I want you to gather enough information from this user, support them, address their concerns, but gather enough information to add it to our CRM. Or this is a self-provisioning model. You just select small, medium, large. Here's your monthly payments. Get them to click on that button. Or this is internal. This is after you log in. Let's say we're a SaaS company where we sell software, right? If you're inside the product, you're a paid customer. Keep them. The way you measure success is through churn. You make sure churn is as low as possible. You upsell them. You explain to them, hey, you've been with us for 2 years. You haven't added any new features. Did you know we also offer this feature, this new product? So you can come in and get set up with no code. You're up and you have a chatbot in seconds. Should you deploy that live? No, but if you take 30 minutes, maybe, right? Now, AI is as good as you communicate with it. So what do I mean? I touched upon this previously. If I said just a random statement like, my wife and I went to a new restaurant yesterday. We had a new amazing dish. I've never had it before. It was super hot. What was hot? The dish? And when you said hot, do you mean spicy or do you mean temperature? Or was it the restaurant that was hot or the day was hot? If I said it was red, well, I guess the dish could be red. Was the restaurant red? What do you mean? So AI tries to understand your meaning, but really just the only thing that has to work off of is what you told it. Now, remember, it doesn't have the inflection in your voice. It doesn't have the context of building a relationship with you, and it doesn't have that. So whatever you said, it's going to try to make best with what you told it to do, right? So what you do is you spin up your chatbot. What we have tools that help you eliminate ambiguity. This is the part that I was saying. We realize how poor of a communicator we've been with our team.
Yeah.
Say, well, I told him to go make more sales. What's more? $1? What's more? Make these designs better. What's better? I thought it was better. What does this better mean? Right? So we realize when we're dealing with AI how poorly we've been communicating with our team. So we make our AI better because it forces you to make it better, and we have tools to help you get there. But it also exposes like maybe I should be a better communicator with my team too. So now it's out, it's live on social, on your website, WhatsApp, SMS, Slack. Ties in with your Shopify store if you have a Shopify store. It ties in with your backend system if you have it. Make, Zapier. So you can integrate with thousands of backend systems that you have, whether it's your CRM or booking system, calendar, or anything like that. You put it out in the wild, and you say, okay, how do I measure success? Is it conversion rate? Is it churn rate? What is it? You know what? I just needed to eliminate, 80% of the noise that my CS team is getting because they're slammed. It's Black Friday, and we just have our best rep. She got pregnant, and it's just the way it is. We all had moms, we all have wives that get pregnant. Okay, fine. She's out. Bad timing. You don't get to pick the timing. Life happens, right? So you put the chatbot out there, and then what you do is you tell the CS team, stop answering questions. Wait, what? Stop answering questions. Let the AI do its job. Let it cook. You get two things out of it. You get much better documentation because every time the AI didn't know how to answer, you go and stop answering for the chatbot, train the chatbot so you answer it once and never again. It's answered. You never have to say it again. So your documentation starts being so much better. Your SOPs become so much better. The documentation of your products, your services, your policies is so much better because I'm trying to tell the AI, and we inherit it internally as a team as well. The other thing that we excel at is the AI sentiment analysis that you get. As an executive, as a business owner, you walk into the CS team and you say, hey guys, how are things going? Oh, excellent, boss. Everything's going great. Really? The people who call you generally have problems. You're telling me, well, great means we know how to answer the questions and people are here. So you're not getting what you need to hear. So the answer to your question is, hey, do you guys ship to Mexico? No, we don't ship to Mexico. And they answered correctly. But as a business owner, how many of those questions do we get a week? Oh man, we get like 8 of those a day. Why didn't you tell me? We know the answer. We don't ship to Mexico. Yeah, but that's a business opportunity. Why didn't you tell me? I need to know this. I didn't know we had that much demand, right? Or you walk into the CS team and they say, oh, things are horrible. Karen, she's back again. She wants to sue us. Okay, that's important. I need to know that, but that's not indicative of the health of the company. That's just one customer. That's the squeakiest wheel. So what we do at Noem.ai is because we're AI first, and because we're telling your team, guys, focus on documentation to train the AI so you don't have to answer it. Every question you answer once and that's it. You never have to answer it again. Your documentation is getting better. When things escalate to a human is primed to give the best user experience. But on the back end, once a week, you get an executive report that tells you, here's the state of the union. Here's the conversations that are happening. Here's the quantity. Here's the quality. Your NPS score is this. Your CSAT score is this. This is how you improve it. This is how you get your customers to sing your praises. I'm telling you, here's your 30, 60, 90-day plan. By the way, I went and scoured the internet on Yelp, on G2 Crowd, on Trustpilot. You had some reviews there, and some of them may not have been great. Go jump on. Oh, I didn't even check. Did you know somebody on Reddit said XYZ about you? What's Reddit again? I'm so busy. I know what Reddit is. I'm never in there. It goes and scours the internet for you and tells you, hey, here's some reviews that's going on. By the way, here's product opportunities for you, your customers. You're an Italian restaurant. I mean, this is a very bad example, but you're an Italian restaurant. There's a difference when people coming in says, hey, you know what? My kid doesn't eat pizza or whatever. Can you guys do a meatball sub, no cheese? Oh, we don't do subs. We just do pizza. Do you guys offer sushi? Both are food, and both times my front end team said no, we don't. Well, we're an Italian restaurant. Meatball sub is very different than sushi.
Yeah.
You get at the executive level reporting to know what's good feedback, what's bad feedback.
Right.
Right. And you can make that decision. And you think I have time to go through all the threads? No, just give me the net, man. Give me the net. Our executive report that gets to you every week is set it and forget it. You don't have to log into the system to look at the report. You get an email. It's a 3-pager that tells you exactly what's going on with an action plan. Now it's up to you to take that action or not. But when your director of CS shows up, when your director of sales shows up and we say, okay, guys, tell me the state of the union. What you're telling me does not match this report. Why? Oh, well, boss, we didn't want to bother you with it. No. There's certain things I need to know. I don't need to necessarily know all the details, but I need to know if this is a problem or not.
Mm-hmm.
That's where we're really excited. At Noem.ai, you get top of the line sentiment analysis and action plans, all built off of real conversations that your team has had.
Well, now you've led to that last question, which I asked about pricing. The reason I bring that up, and plus about what you just described, A plus. People need to understand what you're getting out of the AI. That being able to decision support, being able to make great decisions based on actual real-time data is huge. You don't need data from last month, last year. What's happening right now in my business that I need to make pivots in, and I can see what's working and what's not is huge. A lot of times right now, and I know a ton of different executives that tell you every time I get the report, it's so far in my rearview mirror, it's obsolete. So that is a big, big deal. Now, I've seen in the AI market, you see everything from free to hundreds of dollars to thousands of dollars per month, and people can't discern the value. Like, well, what's the difference? Is this person just trying to undercut the market and it's a great bot, or is it not doing anything at all? How do you see this market when it comes from a pricing perspective?
So what we tend to do at Noem.ai is we want to offer you enterprise level solutions at startup prices. Mm-hmm. So I'm not an enterprise just yet. I want to get there. So am I being out competed by my competitors because they can afford high-end AI? So what we do is we grow with you. We have free plans. Free plans means you probably don't get a whole lot of traffic to your website, but I want to get there one day. Sure, you don't have to break the bank right now. Come in, you can start for free. Mm-hmm. Then you get the $20, $50, $100 plans. Okay, those are run-of-the-mill plans. And you know what? I'm a successful coach. I don't get that much traffic on my website. That's okay. Just because you make a lot of money doesn't mean we're going to charge you a lot of money. We charge you for the value we bring. But let's say you're a Shopify store and you make 3, 4, 5 sales a minute. You grow into those plans. But as you grow into those plans, we are trying to be. Remember back in the day when you used to go to a restaurant and you weren't happy, they'd actually take care of you. They'd comp you that drink. They'd comp you your food. They really cared about, I'm old enough to remember that. I promise you that used to be a thing. The hospitality, the gratuity of we try to treat our customers that way and say, okay, listen, we'll grow with you. You've grown up. We're not going to be greedy and try to gouge you. Actually, our prices go up, not down. We actually lower our prices. You end up paying us more because you're using more, but we actually we give you volume pricing. And so that we don't have to renegotiate every few months as you're growing. Great. We love that you grow. We want to grow with you, but we sit down with you and we say, okay, what's your projected growth for the year? Let's pad that by 5% so we don't have to have a discussion. We'll honor that for a year. And as long as it doesn't deviate too far off, if you go over, don't worry, we'll take care of you, right? And here's volume pricing. But you never hit there until you need to. We have, for example, agencies, people, coaches, educators, agencies for marketing, branding, things of that nature. They look at us and say, well, I'm sort of supplying this for my customers. My customers are other businesses and I want to supply this for them. Can you help me with an agency model? Yeah, we can help you with an agency model. Can you sort of build it for us to say like, yes, the fine tuning and the expert level, I don't have the staff for that, but I can sell it. Can you, until I have the staff for that, can you take care of that for me and I can make some margins on the back end? Yeah, we have those relationships as well. But basically, we try to meet you where you're at, and at all levels, give you enterprise level solutions at startup prices. Wherever you're at, we will make sure that we only charge a fraction of the value we gave you.
I think that what you said is very important. Everybody's on a different journey and seeing where they're at, and they have to test these things out. And you don't want a large upfront capital expense, or now I've signed up for a whole year and I've got this monthly reoccurring. And I don't know if it's going to be good or bad because I don't know enough yet to get the value out of it. I think you've explained a lot of what value you can get out of it, and now you just explained to us the adoption. To be able to adopt this technology is not going to break your bank. You can try it, utilize it.
You're not going to six months trying to build something. You'll be up and ready in a day. Give it the next day for good measure. But you can if you're going to fail quickly.
Right.
And if you're going to succeed, let's get there quickly because time is money.
Time is money. There's a lot of personalization that goes into this, a lot of customization that goes into it. You need a good partner with you that's willing to walk the walk with you, because you have a goal in mind. To your point, you need to convert. Are you starting to see where you're leaving money on the table? It's like, look, we could have converted that. We're not doing it. And I love what you just said. I mean, it just stands out with me. You're getting real time information about the health of your business and why you're succeeding or why you're not succeeding. And to your point, when you've owned and sold or lost businesses, a lot of times it comes down to you just didn't have the right amount of capital and money deployed in the right way. And then when it went left, the audience went left, I went right, I miscalculated, boom. So the more that you can get real-time information in, I think is golden. We're going to conclude here, but before I do, you got to make sure, A, people know how to get a hold of you, and then B, because I always like a real-time report. This is your real-time, your first time being on the Follow Brand podcast, and you've been on probably a lot of different shows. You've been on a lot of different podcasts. You did a lot of presentations. How did you like your experience on my show?
Bar none, the best. No, honestly, it's great being on a show where it's just a natural conversation, where both of us are just looking to provide value to people. If you buy from our products and services, great, but really the idea is just to provide value and information that you can take with you anywhere you go. And if you choose us, thank you, and we appreciate that. But really, we just want to provide value to our listeners.
That's beautiful. I really like that. You got to tell us how to get in touch with you, Daniel. Because
I know EM.ai. Go in, sign up. You don't even need to sign up to give it a try. You can just put in your website and it'll give you a demo without even your email. So we're not going to spam you or jump on a call immediately with you. And then if you want to call us, there's a booking link right there. We'll jump on a call with you and help you through your journey. Again, we are trying to go back to the way business used to be run, to say just give value to your customers before you charge them anything. And that's what we try to do, is go back to fundamentals and say, you know what, do right for your customers. Bring value, the revenue will come afterwards, and hopefully our customers do that to their customers.
Absolutely. So definitely, you got to check out Daniel Hindi. We got Noem.ai, Noem.ai. I encourage our entire audience to check out all the episodes of Follow Brand. You can do so at the number 5. That's 5-star BDM. That's B for brand, D for development, and personalizes.com. I want to thank you again for sharing your story with my audience.
I love it. Thank you for having me.
You're welcome.
Man, who's your favorite podcaster? Man, Grant, man. I love Grant's podcast. Well, who's Grant? I'm going to send you the link. I love Grant.
I love the interview. I've done a lot of these, and this is a great one. It's always great to talk to people who know what they're doing, and it's clear you're a great host, and you've done this many times before.
I feel great that we're having this conversation here. Met a new person in business who I previously didn't know.
It was an amazing podcast. Grant is an amazing interviewer. I learned a lot.
I really enjoyed this. Great questions, great talk track. Super appreciate you having me on. It's been a very fun episode to talk about a lot of things that I don't always get to dive into. So this has been a fantastic conversation.
I wouldn't be where I am here today, of course, not on this stage. However, not in my current business projection and my current business model without working with you.
The difference between influence and legacy, it's the platform that carries your voice. You're not visible because you lack talent. You're visible because your brand doesn't speak. I've built 5-star BDM to change that. Most leaders have the expertise, but not the presence, the vision, but not the vehicle. Across 3 cities, one brand is helping leaders rise above the noise. Here in the heart of Omaha, strategy isn't left to chance. It's engineered with precision. In Omaha, we engineered your executive brand, AI-powered, data-driven, precise. TISA went from a local nonprofit to a national speaker in 90 days. We don't guess your brand strategy, we build it. On the shores of St. Croix, your brand takes on depth and meaning, shaped through curated retreats and legacy experiences. In St. Croix, strategy becomes soul. Our retreats don't just refine your message, they rediscover your mission. One founder rewrote his entire company story here. Funding followed 30 days later. This is where leaders remember who they were meant to be. In vibrant Miami, momentum meets amplification, transforming your voice into a movement. In Miami, your brand becomes a movement. Business development accelerators, audience building. Joy came with an old website and an outdated company name, but she left with 5,000 followers and a waiting list. This is where you scale with soul. 3 cities, 1 mission, your legacy ignited. It started with a thread. Let's pull it together. Stop blending and start leading. 5-star BDM, where legacy is engineered, embodied, and ignited. Visit 5starbdm.com and book your brand audit today.
If your brand message isn't clear, your audience can't trust you, and your business feels the impact. That's why we created Sentinel, the guided experience inside 5-star BDM that transforms brand uncertainty into a clear plan. It all begins with the Brave Maturity Assessment. In just minutes, you'll see exactly where you stand across the 5 drivers of brand authority and spot where trust is leaking. Sentinel gives you your scores, highlights your strengths, and pinpoints your biggest gaps, plus the one priority to move forward. Then, it builds your brand authority blueprint, your positioning, message pillars, and next 3 moves to boost visibility and earn attention. Refine everything by voice or text so your message stays authentic. Start your Brave assessment and get your results today. Imagine standing at the edge of a new frontier where the boundaries of technology and human potential blur. This is the world of agentic AI, a realm where artificial intelligence doesn't just follow instructions but takes initiative, adapts, and collaborates with you to achieve extraordinary results. Picture a visionary consultant, someone who sees beyond the current landscape, guiding organizations through the complexities of digital transformation. Now, imagine harnessing the expertise of an AI technology expert, someone who understands not only the power of AI, but also how to deploy the right tech stack to bring your vision to life. The journey to creating an agentic AI production begins with a single question. What if your AI could do more than automate tasks? What if it could anticipate needs, solve problems creatively, and work alongside you as a true partner? This is not science fiction. It's the next evolution of artificial intelligence. Building an agentic AI system starts with a deep understanding of your goals. It's about aligning technology with your mission, ensuring that every tool and process serves a greater purpose. The right consultant will help you map out this journey, identifying opportunities where AI can make the biggest impact. Next comes the deployment of the tech stack. This is where expertise matters most. Choosing the right platforms, integrating advanced algorithms, and ensuring seamless communication between systems are all critical steps. An AI technology expert knows how to navigate these challenges, transforming complex requirements into a streamlined, effective solution. But the real magic happens when your AI becomes agentic, when it starts to learn from its environment, adapt to new situations, and collaborate with your team. It's no longer just a tool, it's a dynamic force that drives innovation and growth. Imagine your organization empowered by an AI that doesn't just react, but takes initiative. An AI that understands your objectives, anticipates challenges, and works tirelessly to help you succeed. This is the promise of agentic AI production. Are you ready to take the next step? With the guidance of a visionary consultant and the expertise of an AI technology expert, you can deploy the tech stack that will transform your business. The future of work is agentic, and it starts with a single decision. Begin your journey today. Unlock the full potential of AI and discover what's possible when technology becomes your most trusted ally. The next chapter of innovation is waiting for you. What if leadership wasn't about titles, but trials? What if your breakthrough lay beyond fear? In First Light, The Brave Path to Authentic Leadership, embark on a journey of courage, truth, and purpose. Face the wolf, hear first thunder, wield the sword and shield. This is more than a book. It's a calling. Are you ready for First Light? What if you could unlock the power of your personal brand, no matter where you are in your journey? That's the heart of Follow the Brand, a podcast where host Grant McGaw reveals that everyone, yes, everyone, has a brand worth sharing. Whether you're a Fortune 500 CEO, an entrepreneur in transition, or just starting to explore your purpose, this show is your invitation to discover what makes you unique. Each episode features intimate conversations with remarkable guests. You'll hear from branding legends like David Auker, Fortune 100 executives, quantum physicists, space mission launchers, and AI innovators. Grant dives deep into their stories, uncovering the purpose and authenticity that drive them forward. But this isn't just about learning from the best. It's about finding the universal patterns that connect us all. Through the BRAVE framework, brand identity, resilience, authenticity, vision, and execution, you'll see how a healthcare executive draws inspiration from an endurance racer's grit, or how an entrepreneur learns strategy from a CIO's tech journey. With over 225 episodes and 50,000 downloads, Grant brings 3 decades of business expertise and wisdom to every conversation. If you're ready to build your executive presence, navigate a career change, embrace new technologies, or simply tell your story more powerfully, Follow the Brand is your guide. Your brand and your purpose are already within you. Let's bring them to light.
Hey everyone, it's Grant McGaw, CEO of 5-Star BDM and host of the award-winning Follow the Brand podcast and TV series, where I help you to build a 5-star brand that people will follow. My genius is personal brand development through intelligent communication and helping you achieve your business and career goals. I am a requested speaker on digital technology and brand development issues. I want to work with you to increase the value of your current opportunities while attracting new ones. Every one of you is unique, and we all share challenges that can be addressed through smart branding. As a super connector, I work with you as an executive coach to guide you along the complicated business and career development road, providing the enhancement tools and information you need to succeed. Together, I will help you succeed in today's challenging business climate. I will evaluate and measure your progress. Best of all, I am right alongside you every step of the way. Build the brand called you. Genius. tune in for our next show or click on our website at www.5starbdm/followthebrandtv. Thank you.